me go ahead and commit to the job. In fact, no, let me commit to the job. Set as GPS destination. It wants me to drive there. I don't think so. I'm in Yuma. Let's go there. $2,600 later.
Finding new route.
I don't know what my rain preferences are set at.
That just adds to the challenge, don't it?
It does. I mean, they might be high, they might be low. I'm actually going to just take a quick look. 20%. I don't know. We're in Washington. I think it rains a lot in Washington. What do you think?
It does. I heard it's like it's like the North Florida in terms of rain.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'll make it pretty high chance of rain. So we're going to see some rain today, probably. All right. Let me go ahead and get this KT on the move. Okay.
Do you know which place we're picking it up from?
Hang on. I did. I just forgot. Oh, it's the rail export. Just
Is it next to the home store in Steeler?
Yes.
Sweet.
So I need to go there like a lunatic, so I burn off more fuel, so I'm faster than you, right?
Exactly. But I'll be the one passing the fuel station.
That's very true.
Turn right. Turn left.
Go, you stupid Lincoln.
I've only got. I don't even have a 200-gallon tank. What's this? 192 gallons. Okay. So what's that? About 400 miles?
300 if I'm driving it.
Possibly. So far I've averaged about 2.5. Yeah, 2.5.
Well, like how many decibels per gallon does it get?
You know, a reasonable number. But it adds to the challenge. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
complaining.
you know, and
speed.
they say sometimes it's not about miles per gallon. It's about, you know, the smiles per mile or something like that.
I've heard that too.
It's like, yeah, the KT is thirsty, but come on, man. I don't think anybody's ever been sad hearing an old Cummins sing.
I think if you buy a KT and you complain about this mileage, you're doing it wrong.
Slow down.
It's kind of like buying a gas guzzling pickup truck when you're trying to save money on fuel.
Right. Hey, it's raining already.
Not that.
I wonder if it's because if you're going to import a truck from the US to the UK, you probably wouldn't go with the MX-13, maybe.
No, that is true.
So you probably get something that's a bit more, I want to say, interesting.
Unique.
Yeah.
Like a
Right.
C15 or a 12.7.
Yep. I mean, I kind of want to say anything but that, which is a little harsh because it's not that the MX-13 is boring. It's just that they already have them.
No, that is true.
So yeah. I mean, this is a long trailer.
I know. Excuse me.
Oops. Almost
This
ran
is the
into
exact
something
kind of load you would try to haul with that pickup truck, too.
there. Ooh, there's an idea.
It really surprised me how well that truck did when you hauled 60,000 pounds of diesel.
It did, and you kind of think, does the game just not calculate things properly at those sorts of weights, but or those sorts of engines? But no, it does seem to be right. So, okay. I didn't get it on first try, so I've got to try. Oh, phrasing. So I've got to try it again. Yay, spot on. Okay. Let's get my
Oh,
triaxle
this is
down.
going to be fun to get out.
I love it when she says that. Oh yeah, goodness
My
me.
only complaint with some of these trucks, though, is just the frame is so long on the triaxles. Like, it's not like that in real life at all.
It wants me to move off in second gear. And I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's doing it. Wow. Alright, well, I will sneer no more because it actually worked. I still have to, like, get out of here, though.
Low gear and differential lock's gonna be your best friend getting this thing rolling.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the good news is that this is a little more maneuverable, I think, than your extra long truck. Because
That's what he said.
But even then, it's the longest K100E I've ever driven. Actually,
You know, and you have that cab over advantage too.
Yes, yeah. So the game doesn't simulate weather, but if it were cold, I think you'd have a big advantage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this thing with the double steery axles is interesting because, yeah, I don't recall having ever seen that before with the K100. So I either wasn't paying attention, or it's an update. It's new.
What the?
What's up?
No, I was just seeing if that'd be funny as a censored sound effect. Like, what the?
I clearly need more friends because I'd love to do an 8 people do a heavy haul convoy with this mod that gives us extra cargo weight.
Oh yeah.
Right, I am good to go, sir. Please don't make me stop.
All right.
Oh, actually, hang on. Before we do, we should probably stop and just check the map. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Just go and try at least pull out of the lot.
Yeah, we could really make this a much more interesting drive if we took a bit of a diversion. Let me know when you stopped.
I am stopped.
Okay. So
Looking at the map right now.
So we could divert north to Colville. That's quite a long way out. And then swing by Omak and then south towards Wenchachi, which sounds like a brand of cheese, and then on that way. Or we could just turn off at Grand Coulee and kind of like, that looks like a mountain pass. Because I think the road that we're going on the 90 is going to be a little not so interesting, maybe. Depends whether you're up, you feel like mountains or trying to find some mountains.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely down for some mountains.
How long do you have? About an hour or so?
Yeah,
At the
give
most?
or take. Yeah, give or take.
Let's see. The total is 300 miles if we go via Grand Coulee. That adds 100 miles, but if we go via Colville, it adds 350. Do you want to take the middle one and go via Grand Coulee?
Yeah, sure. Where should I set my GPS point at?
I set the GPS just the west side of Coastline Mining. That's like kind of about a third of the way along the Highway 2.
Okay, so how about I put it at that second marker, number 2?
Yep, that works for me.
Yep, that second one to the left, and then right after that, there's a gas station
Uh,
to the left.
yes.
So we got marker for Highway 2, and then that gas station.
I think so, yeah. I may not have it quite right, but I'm going to try and keep up with you, I think. So
Okay.
what could possibly go wrong? Actually, we can have a storm. Okay.
Right as you say, what can go wrong?
Well, I announced that something was working today, and 90 seconds later it stopped. It's like, oh, that's awkward. I work in IT, so hey, everyone, it's working. No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, so forcing this thing to shift down to first, it doesn't really care. But, okay.
Turn left.
Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time with the 525 because it's got nearly as much torque as the 600, but doesn't seem to be quite as thirsty. Yeah, we're talking like 3.3 as opposed to 2.9. but it's a bigger difference than I would have thought, and I don't. Yeah. Plus, for some reason, I like 525 engines.
I know. It just seems like to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, like the N14 is a nice 525. The ISX, the original ISX had a nice 525.
I think the DD13 Gen 5, whatever it is, goes up to 525 now as well.
Dang, that's a lot of power from a small little engine.
I'll say from a 13 liter, that's crazy. Before you know it, they're going to be making the 600.
I mean, they probably can, they just don't, maybe.
PACCAR will be the first one to try it, and it'll probably fail.
Turn left.
Well, yeah. I'm sure that they've got 600 horsepower smaller engines, but they're for military use, maybe, where they don't need them to last as long.
Yeah, or marine use.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't the 3176, the Caterpillar for marine use. I think that was rated to something like 700 horsepower.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it would rev to 2400 RPM. And of course it's got kind of unlimited cooling.
It does.
Okay, I got a green light. Yeah, this thing is short shifting at 1600 revs in the lower gears, and then we start to see a bit more revs coming on. Okay, everything I said about 8x4s not being very maneuverable don't apply to this.
Well, that's because you got a steerable 8x4.
But I know, it's made a huge difference. Okay, and we're climbing a hill at 2000 RPM and I lift off and I make it shift up.
It's kind of surprised me how well the short shift points are working on the KT.
Go straight.
Yeah, I may not have put the engine into high power mode, but I might. I don't recall what I last used it at. But that does make a difference. I may check that at the next red light. So you might be able to see me on the map, but I'm sneaking up behind you, peering over traffic lights, staring at you, or something.
Totally not weird at all.
Trying to sound weird and creepy. Did it work?
I don't trust British people trying to be weird and creepy.
Yeah, because we kind of do it by default, and then they're just like, yeah, it's like, why would you do that? Okay, I've stopped again. So yeah, I'm at normal power mode. I'm going to make this high power mode, seeing as I'm heavy hauling, and that will make quite a difference. It'll make it real sensitive. Probably won't want to short shift much now. Oh yay! Apparently the local weather oh no, never mind. That's tomorrow. I was going to say our local weather's showing scattered thunderstorms, but that's actually tomorrow and not today.
Makes you wonder what mine's going to look like Friday, because usually I get y'all storms a day after.
Right. Well, it says scattered, which of course is their way of saying we don't really know, but if you get a thunderstorm, we told you so, and if you didn't, hey, it's scattered. That might be a
Oh
little...
God, it's supposed to be 93 degrees here Saturday. That's going to suck.
Sorry. Oh yeah.
I'm just hoping this summer's not as brutal as last year's. That was awful.
Right. Switching this thing to high power mode, and it behaves as more as I would with a manual, which shifts up to put it at about 1500 revs, which is what you'd expect because you need it.
Yep.
Okay, see how well it climbs this little hill or on ramp.
I'm not even in top gear yet.
I don't see where you are on. Oh, I see. Okay, well, you've not got that far ahead of me. Alright, well, let's see. About 170 gallons of fuel left, which it somehow thinks is 1,250 miles. That's funny. No, it's really not that many miles. It's averaging 2.5 to the gallon, so, yep. But obviously, a lot of that was, you know, was around the city and blah, 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 blah. It's a huge engine. No one buys it for mileage.
Yep. Oh, my friend just texted me a picture of the pizza they got. I'm jealous.
Is it like the size of a house?
No, but that's a good idea. Make a pizza the size of a house.
Pizza. Okay, I'm at 45. I'm about to shift up into top. Maybe. I think it's going to take it to 2,000 revs before it does, though.
As it should.
Yep, there we go. So I'm at 50 in top gear at about 1450. Alright. There we go. So I'll set my cruise at 60, I guess. And I see you've just taken the exit. Alright.
Yep, I'm on Highway 2.
So how's the Western Star hanging up?
Well, it's
Hanging up.
chugging along at 55, top gear.
Does it feel underpowered? Does it feel alright? I mean, I guess you can tell the weight.
Yeah, I can definitely tell there's a big load behind this thing. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But it's doing it.
Hmm.
Just very slowly. It's kind of pulling like a 370 DD13 with 80,000 pounds total weight.
Oh, okay. Which actually is...
It's slow, but it's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a weigh station up here.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting to see how much these two weigh. I mean, assuming we both get stopped.
Oh, I got called in.
Okay. And if they weigh me in 50 miles, I'll weigh quite a bit less than I do now because I'm burning off all
You'll
this
have
fuel.
burned 3/4 of the tank of fuel. Either this Jake brake's not working, or I'm just so heavy that it's taking forever for it to do anything. Okay, it's working. It's just really heavy.
Lots of weight.
I weigh 163,861 pounds.
Good grief. So I'm guessing the trailer's like 40,000 pounds or something.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. Well, maybe not quite that much, but
Oh, and you gotta take into account the truck weight too.
yeah. Oh, I'm up to 2.6 miles per gallon. And 150.
I'm down to 5.1 right now.
Wow, you're burning half as much fuel as me.
But it was
Okay.
5.4 when we started.
Okay, well. Got 155 gallons left. I've used 15 gallons in what feels like 30 seconds. Right, about to reach the little, am I going to have to get weighed? Please, 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 let me get weighed. Yes! Because it would suck if I didn't know how much I weighed.
I know.
Oh, good grief, yeah, you're right. But the engine brake doesn't seem to do that much, does it? Yeah, this is a lot easier to maneuver than something like a long wheelbase Kenworth.
Yep.
The W900, I should say, because I am in a long wheelbase Kenworth. Alright, moment of truth. What do we weigh? Oh, come on, David. You stopped too soon. 164, 740,000 pounds, so slightly heavier.
Yep.
Which is probably my lunch. Wow, that Western Star's... It looks bigger than this and it's lighter. So I guess they must use more aluminium or aluminum and other...
Oh, it's a modern day Freightliner product. It's all plastic.
Okay.
I mean, it's a Cascadia at heart, after all.
Right. I don't think they make a heavy haul version of the Cascadia, do they?
They don't. I see a couple every once in a while doing heavy haul, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is really cool, just seeing a highway truck doing vocational work.
Mm.
There's a really nice Cascadia, I think it's a 125 dump truck that comes through my town. It's all customized and everything. It's nice.
Yeah, I think, as you say, seeing like a fleet truck pressed into service doing something else would make sense. Well, I say make sense. It just shows that, maybe that was the only truck that they had available, or it's the one that had a 515 horsepower and everything else had a 400, maybe.
Yep.
Yep, it loves hanging on to 2,000 revs through the gears, as you'd expect. Which might explain my mileage is a little poor.
Maybe.
Well, that at 164,000. But the fact that, I'm creeping through 48 right now, just going past the coastline mining. There we go, selects top. So at 50, and then see if we can get up to 60.
Oh, we got to turn left up here soon, so good luck.
Yeah, and there's a hill I'm about to reach, which is probably going to want to downshift it.
I got to turn on my jig brake 2 miles behind before I even hit the stop sign.
Do you tend to downshift much when you use the Jake, or do you just tend to keep it in its gear until it's doing 1,000 revs or something?
It depends how quick I need to slow down in the situation. Like if I'm, going down a hill, then yeah, or before a downhill, I'm gonna try to downshift as much as I can.
Yeah.
But on flat ground, depending on the speed, I'll typically just run it to like 1,000 revs and then bring it back up. But if I have to stop, on a dime or whatever, then I'm gonna downshift at 1,500 or wherever the governor is, bring it back up to there.
Yeah. I've not really played around with the engine brake strength setting much. I've got keys mapped to it, but I just haven't done it so much. And then I think it was the DD892. I decided, I've never really used this. You can customize the strengths that you set for the Jakes. So full strength will have it downshifting, and then like mid strength is I think 60%, and it doesn't downshift. And that like when it downshifts, it seems to put you through the windshield. It's makes a big difference.
Well, speaking of that, thank you for putting a Jake brake on that engine, even though it didn't have a sound recorded by Zmod.
You are welcome. Makes a difference, right?
I know, it's like when he did the 3408 and the brake saver, I just kind of wish he would have used that sound for the engine brake.
Right. Yeah, I originally didn't have one on there, and I'm like, this makes it that much harder to drive. And I kind of forgot how much I used the engine brake.
And I think that's because supposedly I heard they're harder to mount on a V8 engine as opposed to an inline. That's why a lot of V8 diesels never had them.
Okay, that is interesting. I suppose, yeah, because the configuration must be...
Or they're harder to work on in general. That's why inline 6 diesels are so popular. It's just everything's right there and it's straight.
Hmm.
And they're the easiest engine to balance too.
Would it be just as tough to put a Jake brake on a V6? Or is it just something different about the V8 then, I wonder? Is it
That
the
I
V?
wouldn't know.
Yeah, is it the V or is it the 8?
It could be both.
Yeah. Oh, this...
But at the same time too, from that time period, most trucks weren't doing 75 on the highway either, so it probably didn't need as much power to slow down.
Yes, yeah. Although then again, maybe the brakes were a lot less efficient. So, yeah.
Yep. Then Cat saved the day with that brake saver, but even it had its issues, because I know if you used it wrong or used it too long, it would just fry your engine's oil.
Yeah, I think I was reading Big Mac forums, and they were talking about using the retarder. And although in theory you only use it when you're not needing power, and so your cooling system could cope, what they were saying was, yeah, it couldn't, because you can produce more heat braking than you could when you were going up a hill. So
Yeah.
you couldn't just flick the thing on and hope for the best. You had to actually monitor your coolant temperature while braking. I'm like, dang.
Meanwhile, with a Jake brake, you can just leave that thing on all day and it won't care.
Yes. Yeah. Is it the brake saver that used was that a fluid in the Cat engines? I think.
I think it was. It was kind of like a retarder. Pretty much was a retarder, like on the transmission, but instead it was mounted on the engine.
Yeah, and that heat's got to go somewhere. I guess the Jake brake just chucks out the exhaust.
Yeah, because the engine itself it uses its own power to slow it down. So
Yeah. Hey, we're coming up to the... Well, I'm coming up to the hilly bit. Let me see.
it's more of a downhill than anything, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm showing 163 miles left.
I'm 136.
I'd like to try and catch up, but that might mean driving like a hooligan down this mountain pass.
I can pull over for a couple seconds.
Maybe more interesting video if I can catch up with you. Maybe. But obviously dangerous. And clearly I wouldn't drive
That too.
I wouldn't drive like this in real life. I'd be very cautious going down a wet, windy mountain road with 164,000 pounds.
I know.
Probably. Oh, this weather's beautiful.
It's good sleeping weather, that's for sure.
You know, the road is so shiny and the light is so pretty. Not because
All
it's
the old farts have to slow down to 30 under the speed limit because it's raining. I've forgotten how fun it is to actually split and just use all the gears.
Okay, don't pull out in front of me. Don't pull out. Thank you. Well, it turned out the brakes work. When you're driving like a hooligan and a cop pulls out in front of you. I nearly had an incident with said cop. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Shortcut.
Let's find a new route.
This road's a little rough, but it definitely seems like a shortcut.
Yeah, it does.
I might regret this. But so far... Oh, okay, there's a tight corner coming up.
I'm getting the hurry up music. Actually, I need to turn that down. Can't stand the music in this game.
It's like... I don't... Well... And I think for me the worst thing is that when you first play it, the music plays, and it's like I need this to stop. This has to stop. And it's not easy to find that volume control.
I know. It's like, just let me listen to my own music. Like, I'll gladly listen to that. But...
Turn left.
Okay, I think I made up some time.
Get ready to turn right.
You did.
Turn right.
Which is good. Come on, SUV.
Try pulling this load with the 6V92.
It would struggle a little bit. Unless you had like 9.5 gearing or something.
Ooh, that's an idea.
Yeah, top speed of 32 miles an hour, but and you got 10 gears between 0 and 32, but you can pull anything.
I know. I think it was on Big Mac forums or whatever, funny enough. The guy was talking about some kind of dump truck or chip wood grain hauling truck he had. It was like an 8 low with like a 784 final drive.
I think I saw that too. It was like super short.
Yeah, he said that truck was dang slow, but God, it would pull anything, something like that.
Yeah, it would do like 35 or 40. I think.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna do that after this. Create an 8 low with that ratio just to see what it does.
I mean, if you use it with automated, you might start off in 6th gear or something, or maybe maybe 5th, but then because you know there's with the right trailer, with a double trailer and the super heavy cargo mod, you can find a 356,000 pound cargo.
Yeah, you can.
So a Mac R with a 237 horsepower engine and an 874 final drive, maybe, or something. Because this hill that we're both climbing right now, it's like I need a lower gear. There we go.
Yeah.
I need a lower gear. Another one.
And there's another way station up here.
Oh. So what was I? 164 something. I might be 162,000 now.
Oh, I just got pulled in.
Me too. I have 108 gallons of fuel left.
Surprised you have that. I thought you would have less.
Yeah, I'm almost exactly half a tank. So
I'm at half a tank too.
okay, well I don't feel quite so bad then.
But I'm still getting 4.9 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, that's and assuming that maybe you're only really getting, I don't know, maybe 4, but I'm getting 2.5. That's quite a big difference.
I'm 163,000 pounds now.
So you burn
or 600 something pounds.
So you burnt 500 pounds.
Well, I dropped off that lot lizard that you didn't see. She was a bit of a big girl.
Yeah, 164, 413. I burnt about 300 pounds, I think. I dropped off 3 lot lizards. Oh, it's busy joining the highway. Thankfully, everyone made space, which is good. I tried to make a 100 gear transmission, 100 gear automatic, to try and simulate a CVT, and it didn't work.
Well, did you do it as an automated manual, or did you add a torque converter to it?
I think I added a torque converter to it. So although it was 100, it would be a lot more, but it didn't work.
You know what, you should try that transmission again with the 2,000 horsepower Cat. See what it does.
think it'd be like, gonna start you off in gear 62, and now you're in gear 84, and now you've crashed.
What final drive did you go with on that 100 gear?
I went with like, well, so first gear was kind of super low, and top gear was maybe direct drive, so it was like a 2-to-1 or something. It was tall, because I tried to use it with an engine that had I was trying to use it with like a fake electric motor, I think. I don't know, but it didn't work as I wanted it to.
Oh.
And instead, the way to get close to a CVT, or the closer way, is to use a 1 or a 2-speed transmission that's super tall, and a torque converter.
Ooh, here's the mountain.
Oh, yay. Actually, yeah, I don't think it'll be too bad. It'll just burn a bit more diesel.
It's holding 1605 high.
Okay. Oh yeah, wow, that does look
25.
steep. Okay, so you're doing 25. Let's see what I'm doing. So I'm just passing 25 now. And I'm in 7. And 2,000 RPM, so it's 27, I think. Let's take a look. What am I at? Oh, I
I'm
can't
actually
see.
slowly building speed.
Hey.
Yep, about to upshift to 6 low. This is where the DD16 is really shining right now.
Yeah, so I'm also holding 25. It's 7th at about 1,700 revs. No, okay, now I've dropped to 24.
As much as I hate the route, I feel like we really should have went through the $1 million highway. So I know that's very hilly too.
Yes, it is. And it's treacherous. Okay, I was able to... It dropped to 24 for a little bit, but now it's back up to 25. Now it's 26. So it's actually doing about the same as... It sounds like it's doing about the same as the Western Star.
I'll say I'm about to hit 30 miles an hour now.
See, here I think having 10 gears is going to hamper me, because I'm now at the Governor at 29. Right, let's try and force an upshift. Oh, it did it. Down to 1,500, and I'm losing speed. Maybe. I'm holding 27. Okay, I'm leaning forward. Come on. Come on.
Oh, here comes the downhill.
Yeah, so I really would have benefited from another gear there. Because it's like I'm a little too fast for 7, but not fast enough for 8th.
You need like a 7.5.
Yeah. Oh, that was thunder.
It wasn't from me this time either. Try and let the Jake brake hold me back.
Okay, so yeah, again, you've pulled out quite a bit of a lead, but I did get stopped at the stoplight by a couple of trucks, and maybe that makes a difference. And
Yeah, you did.
so it's kind of and I don't want to turn off traffic, because I think it, much as it's frustrating, it does add quite a bit to the game.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, we pick up speed very nicely going down a hill. Or maybe a bit too nicely.
Yeah, I'm really glad I went with this 18 speed now.
Are you splitting most of the gears up and down the hills?
I was.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think, as you said earlier, you don't need it on flat ground, but when you need it, it's really nice.
Oh, it's a godsend.
think sometimes the 13 speed is like maybe perfect, but on some of those steeper hills, you might be caught. Oh, I think you'd probably be using the splitter, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, the 13 speed's a good sweet spot. I mean, that was pretty much what the first Eaton transmission was, after all.
Keep right. And keep
I think its only issue, if we call it an issue in quote marks, is it can't handle the extra high torque, or some of them can't handle the extra high torque of the 18 speed. But
I would say the 13 speed does have a one rated for 2050 foot-pounds.
Yes, yeah.
It's a 10 speed that can't handle anything past 1850.
Excuse me. I was reading the Volvo, the earlier D16s, and some of those were a triple torque curve. So in the lower gears they were 1850, and then they were 2050 and I think 2150 in the higher gears. There was a 630, I think, version.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was very interesting, but I can't do a triple torque curve, unfortunately. I can do a double.
right.
Maybe they were 2050 foot-pounds of torque. But I'm like,
You can't put a 10 speed behind that one.
no. These I think they predate the iShift, or certainly is it the 14 speed, or is the heavy duty one?
I think so. I know they had a 14 speed manual in Europe, so I want to say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's configured like a normal 12 speed, but with a couple of crawlers. By crawlers, I don't mean creepy British guys.
No, I mean, you can actually, though, put a lower spec transmission behind a powerful engine. You just got to be really careful with your throttle response.
Yes.
Because I have seen some 600 2050 engines paired with 10 speeds.
Yeah, I imagine if you say on a wet road and you go from a slippery road surface to a non-slippery, and you cross at just the wrong angle, you could destroy stuff doing that. If you're under lots of load, you end up twisting gearboxes and stuff.
Yeah. Which, why Eaton won't make a 2050 rated 10 speed, I really don't know why. I mean, the power bands on these trucks are so wide these days.
Yeah. Maybe because they think that most people would just get a 13 or an 18, and they can charge more for a 13 or an 18, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably the best theory I would be able to come up with if I were to come up with it.
Yeah. Because I know that sometimes when you look at a product family, there's no reason why you look. I guess cars is a great one. There's no reason why you wouldn't add, I don't know, a certain feature to like a SE car as opposed to the S. But instead, no. If you want that feature, you have to get the SEL Platinum Plus model, which it's still an option kind of thing. And it's like, but why?
I know, it's like the Toyota. Like, if you want like, for example, the Toyota Camry, if you want a JBL sound system, you can't get that on the LE or SE. You got to get the XSE or XLE.
Right.
Or the TRD.
And it's probably got the same wiring holes or mounting points that they all have. They just don't want to include it on the lower spec models.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that the TRD is like another $6,000 or something over the other ones.
It's actually a cheaper one compared to the XSE, believe it or not. It's actually really stripped down.
Right.
Like, it has single zone climate control. It doesn't have the fancy dashboard infotainment system or whatever. It's got the infotainment system, but it doesn't have the 8-inch dashboard display. But what you lose in features, you gain in. You get the 3.5 liter V6, which is the cheapest V6 model Camry.
Right.
And you get that. You get sport tune suspension, styling, exhaust that sounds great, and I missed my turn.
Oops.
The wrong turn. I can fix that right here.
I think that was Toyota's fault. For
It
giving,
was.
for giving so many different options on the Camry.
Yeah, so feature-wise, the TRD's really stripped down, but it's the cheapest way to get into a V6 model.
Right. Oof, this hill is actually okay. It's not that bad. It shifted down once and got me down to about 40, but I made it. My mileage has dropped a little bit though. Just over a quarter tank now.
Yeah, it's about what I'm at too, and I'm getting 4.7 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, you're still
So
showing.
it's barely dropped at 1 mile per gallon, which is not bad.
Yeah, I'm now showing 2.4. But I mean, it's pulled it. It's done better than I thought it would, because it's a bit compromised with only having 10 speeds.
And probably taller gearing than it should have.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
Well, no, that's right. You're on 22-inch tires. Okay.
Yeah, but I can still see how it would benefit from being just a little shorter. Which I can say about most things, apart from my good lady wife, who's not here to hear me say that.
Oh, I have the Discord messages to prove it, buddy.
No, she knows, or at least she strongly suspects. So speaking of which, we were driving to go to our appointment, and your message popped up on the dashboard that said, "Hey, are you ready to do that shoot tonight?" And she looked at me and said, "It's a good job that I know Zach is a boy." And I was like, yes.
I'll say she was about to jump to a conclusion, just like short people jump for everything else in their life.
Pretty much, yep. And say something like, "Hey, you know, the real conclusion is like the jar of pickles on the top shelf at the grocery store. You're just never going to get there."
I know.
But I would never say that. Well, I
No.
totally would, but not when she's within striking distance. I see that,
Within striking distance.
which is, about a foot, but hey. Yeah, I'm in big trouble now.
Yeah, especially if she watches your videos.
Yeah, apparently I make far too many, then she doesn't watch them, which I'm fine with. It's fine. It's completely fine. Alright, well, I think this has been a better experience than I thought it would be.
Honestly, this DD16 was a little more sluggish than I thought, but I mean, this was a 100,000 something pound load after all.
And it may be sluggish, but I mean, you went up hills. I was surprised I was nearly as quick as you going up those hills. If you catch my point. And you also probably used about half the fuel that I have.
And 411s on 24-inch tires, that is still on the fuel economy side.
Yeah, that is pretty tall.
Because, I mean, 1500 is 65. That's about average for any truck these days.
Yeah. So, I'm curious as to what the mileage is. We might have to work that out.
Now, let's see how many gallons I used. Yes, I know it was late. I used literally 99.9 gallons.
Okay. And was that about 300 miles?
290.
Okay, so you basically got 3 miles per gallon.
Which is to be expected, because
Yep.
16-liter engine, I had to have the foot on the floor the whole time.
And this is how I'll make a mess of getting into the yard. I may have to... Yeah, I messed this up. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I did a very good job of this. I should have swung a lot wider, which I know is what she said. Yeah. There's no pedestrian there, right? Let's see if I can not take out anything actually whilst I pull in the yard. Yay, okay. Yeah, with hindsight, maybe the 15 speed would have been quite a good choice too for those extra low gears.
Oh yeah.
But I still have the same issue climbing the hills because it's still basically a 10 speed, isn't it? Well, kind of.
I'd say the gear. I noticed the actual main gears are actually a little bit shorter.
Okay.
There's like a 300 RPM difference as opposed to the 4.
All right. So it might have helped then. All right. Let's see. What did we do? That's going to be close enough. Okay. So I did 284 miles. I did fewer miles. Oh, that's right.
You took that little shortcut.
But I used 124.2 gallons, so I got 2.3 to the gallon, which that's quite a big difference. Yeah, if you had to pay for that, for every 100 miles you use 25 gallons more, you're going to notice that on your fuel bill.
Yep.
Well, interesting. That was fun.
It was.
And not a bad road. I think you're right. We could probably do the $1 Million Highway at some point. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I will draw the video to a conclusion at this point.